Hey, hey, Cancer. Intuitive Soul Coach here with your October 2024 bonus reading. Welcome back to my channel if you're returning, and welcome if you're new. If you're interested in a personal reading, signing up for the monthly newsletter, or entering into the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video. All right, Cancer, advice from your future self. Right away, I'm hearing tough times don't last, but tough people do. You may be going through a situation that may feel a little bit challenging, okay? And we'll look at what that may be. We'll look at your current situation, question, or struggle. But I do feel that you deserve this win, this opportunity. You've worked hard for your victories, your accomplishments, and self-development. I feel like you have been working on yourself in a very big, profound way. And it may even be that some of you have done some shadow work, some inner child healing. Tough times don't last, but you certainly will. That's what your higher self and future self wants you to know at this time. Yeah, look at this. You're showing up right away as the 10 of Wands. This is your present energy. You may be feeling overburdened, Cancer. You may feel like you have the whole weight of the world on your shoulders regarding a situation, or it just feels like you've been carrying something significant for a long time. And endings are bringing in a new beginning here with this 10 of Wands. October is a 10 month. And I see here with this 10 of Wands, if you've been overwhelmed lately, if you have felt physically exhausted, maybe even burnt out, or you've taken on too many responsibilities, I see here that there is a new beginning, or you're releasing, prioritizing, or letting go of things that aren't as significant or as important as perhaps they once were. Okay, 10 of Wands is a big energy to start off with. And your oracle says, honor your feelings. How have you been feeling? Are you telling yourself that you should or shouldn't be feeling a certain way? Feelings are like visitors. They come and go. And when we hold our feelings in, the energy can get stuck in our body and manifest this physical pain. So for some of you, you may have suppressed a feeling or emotion or turned it inward, which creates dis-ease. Or we tend to turn it outward. And if we don't do it in a healthy way, it can be projecting, right? Word, I'm getting like word vomit. Some of you may have had harsh words, either that you've spoken or that have been spoken to you. You have a right to feel how you feel. Honor the feelings, take a deep breath, and work on release. So there's a lot happening here within your energy that you are rebalancing. This Libran energy brings about karmic balance. Excuse me, I am getting a resetting of the scales where Cancer, you may have taken on other people's stuff. You are highly empathic. You are a healer. You may tend to take on other people's stuff, or you may even be in a career or profession where you are a caregiver. You could be a Mr. or Mrs. Fix-It, right? I want to fix this situation, this person. I want to make everything right. But sometimes that comes at a cost. It comes at, a sacrifice to you, to your health. And I do see that you are one determined individual, Cancer. When you have your sight set on something, if this is coming from a place deep within, I feel like you're going to do whatever you need to do to create that sense of stability, safety, and security within you. It says, allow yourself to be with the emotion that you feel. Breathe into it, truly experience it, and it will pass. Remember, tough times don't last, but tough people do. So again, that kind of validates here the feelings are like visitors, right? Those visitors aren't going to stay in your home forever. But for some of you, you need to sage. You need to sage the home, or, tell a visitor of some sort, okay, you've overstayed your welcome. I've let you stay for a little bit and it was nice while it lasted, but something here is needing to shift. So some of you, this is energetically, this could be emotionally. For others of you, it could be quite physically. You need to set a boundary when it comes to your space, your time. Your mantra, today I feel blank and I honor that. Drop that in the comment section below. Today I feel blank and I honor that. Drop it below. I'll enter you into that free reading giveaway. But I want to know how you feel, and try to expand your feelings aside from just happy, sad, or angry, right? Really dive into the scope of feelings. How do you feel? If it's more than one, drop it below. Now we have I deserve. You deserve to enjoy an amazing life. This is your advice, right? That brings you joy and abundance. You were born worthy, Cancer. There is nothing you need to do to prove your worth. And that may be what you're trying to do at times with this 10 of Wands. Is it feels like there is something you have added on to your palette, or added on in order to feel externally validated or feel worthy, and it's come at a cost to you. And you may be reflecting and saying, well, wait a minute, there's nothing I need to prove. I don't have to prove to anyone because I'm already worthy of great things. And I feel like there's an acknowledgement within that. That may be the cycle that is coming to an end here. It says, journal what your best day would look and feel like. See it in your mind. We need to feel it before we can receive it. And so there's, again, another energy around emotion. So we'll probably see some deep emotion coming in for you in this reading from your future self. Possibly the Lovers here, because I am getting the Heart and feeling more balanced emotionally. But I also see here mentally. I mean, the Lovers is Gemini energy, and I'm getting a mental balance, physically, spiritually. It feels like overall, it's not just within your emotions. It feels like overall there is balance coming in from all angles, and that would be perfect to find that harmony and a resetting of the scales at this time. Your mantra, I am worthy of a life I love. And yes, you are, because your future self is the star. Your future self is saying there's a bright future here for you. This is healing. This is inspiration. This is dreams. Okay, this is a wish granted. And it's because you didn't give up on yourself, but it's also because you've done so much for others. Okay, and even though it has come at a bit of a cost, for those of you that are having maybe a surgery, okay, or this could be pertaining to the back, or even to the root chakra, so hips, knees, ankles, or feet as well. But I am getting you being able to heal or recover and not feel as pressurized. Maybe some of you, there's a lot of pain, but I feel the healing showing up. Your future self wants you to know that you will heal, you will recover, you will overcome this difficult period or this obstacle. But this is also a reminder that you deserve this amazing life. And I do see here you having a really good feeling, a really good emotion, celebration, energy, momentum, build up to something that really inspires you. And this is going to be, I feel like it's a wish. It is something that you've wanted. It's something you've been working towards. And this is Aquarian energy. We could even see this come to full fruition by January or February of 2025. Okay, the star is a wish granted, and your future self wants you to know that your hard work is going to pay off. But also there's help. There's spiritual help that you don't have to shoulder everything yourself. Some of you, this certainly could be professional or medical help in some way. And the stars are aligning to really help you out when it comes to a dream, a goal, a wish. Let's take a look at the current situation or struggle. 8 of Pentacles. Okay. 8 of Pentacles is about driving yourself. It can be about mastering a craft. And I do feel with this in reverse, some of you, you could be working on perfectionism. Okay, you could be someone who is a perfectionist, someone who is a people pleaser, someone who tends to take on other people's stuff. And I feel like that has caused some issues potentially within your career or within your relationships. Now, 8 of Pentacles can also be you contemplating switching up talents or careers. This may also be taking a look at your health and really putting in the energy, putting in the work, but you don't feel inspired at times. You're not feeling motivated. It can feel like a little bit of, an overwhelming energy or even an uninspired energy. Timing. You may want to look into timing, the timing of things, okay? Why is the 8 of Pentacles a struggle here? Why is this a struggle? Or maybe this is about you going back to school. Oh, there is a feeling of gaining knowledge or gaining additional information. So I feel like you will put time and energy into this situation, but there's still knowledge to come. That's what your future self wants you to know, that you're still learning. Give yourself credit. Yeah, give yourself credit for, what you don't quite know. But I also see it's important for you to trust in your own skills, trust in your abilities. You may be making something from scratch, or for those of you, you can see, this is the Duchess cook. And you can see that the cook is in the kitchen and she has a whole variety of foods. So whether you are taking your first cooking class or you are a chef, right? It doesn't matter where you are at on your journey, but I feel like you have all of the resources that you need to make a delicious meal. And you may be whipping out that cookbook, right? You may be taking some classes here at this time to learn more about how to make a gourmet meal. And this is metaphysically, maybe some of you, this is in the realm of metaphysics, metaphorically speaking, but you deserve a seat at this table and you're going to be inviting people to eat at this table. So the table has to do with your life, what you've created, your passions, your career. And I feel like that is where you're currently at here. And you're putting in the energy, the effort, the commitment. And if that's been a struggle at times to put in the effort, keep going, because the more that you learn, the more you evolve and the better you'll be. Knowledge really is power. Let's take a look at what you should spend less time on. What do we need to spend less time on for Cancer? Less time on, living in the past. 4 of Cups in reverse. We need to spend less time on stagnating, or feeling like we have to do everything ourselves. This is saying it's okay to open yourself up to help. This can also be a turning point emotionally. Reach out. Like I said, there's people here, there's support. If you feel like you keep replaying up, some of you, I'm getting a trauma response, There may be a trauma response that you are focusing on that keeps you in a state of analysis paralysis, right? It keeps you in a state of, I'm not going to move because I don't know which move to make, or it doesn't feel like the right time to move. If we stay in that analysis paralysis, 10 years goes by and we're thinking, well, wait a second, I didn't even get anywhere. Try not to focus on so much on the past or what hasn't worked. Try to focus on staying present. That's what your advice is from your future self. Stay present. There's a turning point coming in here for you emotionally. And if you've been emotionally stagnant or haven't felt inspired, you just wait, because the star is showing up here. This is inspiration. This is Glinda, the good witch. And if you've ever seen Wizard of Oz, everybody gets excited in Munchkin Land when Glinda comes in, because she does bring that inspiration and that beauty and that wonder and that awe, right? She brings in the protection and the healing and the guidance. I mean, she is like the fairy godmother in a sense. She's like your spirit guide. She is loved one in spirit. And I feel like you will overcome some sort of heavy burden, but you also are meant to create more balance in your emotions. And that's why we have honor your feelings coming out right away. What do we need to spend more time on? We need to spend less time focusing on the past or staying stuck in some sort of paralysis. And we need to spend more time on coming up with solutions. 5 of Wands. Okay, so the 5 of Wands can be avoiding drama. Okay, spend more time avoiding drama. And it does feel that whatever this 4 of Cups is that keeps referring you to the past, it does tend to bring in some drama or create a sense of it. Okay, and it may be false. It may be false evidence appearing real. Fear, right? It could be someone, it could be a belief. It could be a small voice in your head that tells you that you're not worthy or that you'll never achieve what it is that you want. And I see here, yes, there's going to be adversity. Yes, there's going to be triggers. Yes, there's going to be competition. But focus on constructive criticism. Focus on becoming a better version of yourself and not comparing. Okay, focus on not comparing. If you're going to compare yourself to anyone, compare yourself to who you were yesterday and be a better version of yourself today. And I see here, yes, there's people, possibly too many cooks in the kitchen for some of you, too many cooks in the kitchen with that 8 of Pentacles. And you're thinking, how can I create this gourmet meal? And some of you, it may even be that you feel overwhelmed. So for example, Thanksgiving, if you celebrate the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, or any event where there's food. And if you've ever found that you are the one doing all the work, it can be exhausting, right? You're cooking the turkey or you're trying to, cook a million different things. But what really helps out is to have a plan and to, ask people as well at times. Yes, you could bring the pie, you can bring the stuffing, you can bring this, you can bring the beverages, you bring the paper plates. So having some sort of structure and time management is going to be beneficial for you at this time. Otherwise, it's a chaotic mess, because maybe 2 people bring the same item that you don't need, and then you have 50 buns, but you don't have any gravy, and it just feels like something is messy, or it feels like you're doing all the work yourself and you're not even enjoying the fun. And I feel like what Spirit wants you to focus on, what your future self wants you to focus on, is spending more time on creating a routine or time management, or asking for help, asking for support. And if there is some sort of criticism, can it be looked at in a constructive way? Or if someone is just being mean, if someone is just being a bully, let's cut out that drama. Okay? That's what you are meant to focus on. What do we need to remember? What does Cancer need to remember at this time? All right, what do you need to remember, Cancer? We do see the Knight of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles. They are showing up. They didn't flip out, but this is a reminder, slow and steady wins the race. But let's see here. What do we need to remember? That endings bring in new beginnings. Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end, right? Beautiful song there. 10 of Swords, that when the Wicked Witch of the East has that house land on her, right? Dorothy feels a bit, oblivious at times. She's not quite sure, like she didn't know that the house landed on the witch. There's something out of her control. So it almost feels here to remember that sometimes things are out of your control, but to focus on the things that are within your control. How you respond, right? How you respond to things. She could have stayed mourning the loss of a witch that she never even met, or she could celebrate with the Munchkins over some sort of ending that actually is going to bring more good to the mix than it was prior, because something was damaging, something was unhealthy, something may have been toxic for you. Yes, it may have been a betrayal, or it could have been hitting rock bottom in some way. But the 10 of Swords says that you can trust in the magic of a new beginning. Remember that, okay? Remember that even though things may have ended, I mean, you have double 10s here, double 10s. There is something magical brewing behind the scenes, because who comes in when that house, hits the ground? Glinda, right? She's there to say everything's going to be okay. She is there. This is your future self saying everything's going to be okay. And even though there's an ending, I'm going to guide you to Emerald City. I'm going to be there, every step of the way. Even though you can't see me, you're going to feel me, and I'll show up when you need it the most. Remember that you're not alone doing this. What do we need to let go of? I mean, this is an ending, but what do we need to let go of here? The Tower in reverse. Woo, okay. And the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, we need to let go of what's out of our control. And that's the Tower. Okay, the Tower in reverse, and I have goosebumps all over, is destroying old structures in order to have this new beginning. Ace of Pentacles. This is what's showing up for you. This is Glinda pointing to those ruby slippers, right? Or the silver slippers in this deck. And it's her saying, no place like home. This is how you truly find yourself. This is how you truly remember who you are and where you came from. And yes, the Tower comes in, which represents the tornado. And there are things that are out of your control. There are things that are destined. There are things that are fated. And I do see here, let go of what you cannot perhaps control in a way that, how do I put that? Don't go towards it. It feels like sometimes, when there's an accident on the road, or, we want to look, right? We look at those things like, oh, what's happening? Or, it feels like, yeah, there's chaos, or there's something big, and we want to know the inside scoop because it elicits a sense of, out of our control, and we're curious about it, but at the same time, we don't want to see it. So there's a little bit of that, the endorphins are rolling, and we have, changes coming in. This is change. And I feel like Spirit is saying, don't look, right? Don't look at, the past energies here. You don't have to keep looking at some sort of disaster, because you're not going there. That's not part of the new beginning that is showing up for you. Okay. Let go of the need to feel like you have to pick up the pieces in some way, and that may not even be yours. It may have been something that was out of your control. Yeah. Ace of Pentacles coming in. What do we need to give ourselves credit and recognition for? What does Cancer need to give credit and recognition for? That you are a boss, that you are a queen or a king here. Queen of Wands is saying you have the magnetic energy of beauty, of wit, of charm. You're very creative. You're a leader. You're a natural leader here in some way, Cancer. You're bold. A lot of you are entrepreneurs, or you take care of your family. You're the rock. This is represented by Belina the hen. Sometimes you can be overprotective, right? If you've ever come into contact with like a rooster or a hen, I mean, sometimes those suckers will chase you. Sometimes they'll chase you and they can peck. They have well, good thing I didn't just say that on YouTube. The video would have been out. But I feel like the Queen of Wands here is highly magnetized. And I feel like Instead of running around like a chicken with your head cut off, give yourself credit for holding things together, and maintaining a sense of balance. Yes, for others, but now it's really time for you to find that within yourself. Okay. You see the sunflower right there. A new day has dawned, right? The rooster calls here, even though this is a hen, but I feel like there's a new day has dawned, and you're heading towards your sunshine. You're heading towards a feeling of, abundance with this Ace of Pentacles, with this new beginning. A lot of you are multitaskers. You could be someone who serves many in customer service in an office environment, or, like I said, you are the one that wears many, many different hats, or you play a different role to many, many people. And I feel like you deserve some you time. You deserve some form of abundance for yourself, some sort of goal that is your goal and yours alone. So give yourself credit for the magic and the wonder that you are. Because yes, there's been times that you've been insecure. Yes, there's been times that you've been bossy or controlling or competitive. But I feel like the other part of, the light aspect of this Queen of Wands is highly magnetized and very charming and very helpful. But be sure to find that balance so you're not taking on so much that you're feeling a little bit vengeful, or you're feeling like a chicken with your head cut off. Let's take a look at the potential outcome. What's the potential here to manifest? What is the outcome? The outcome is for you to let your guard down here and really open up to, I'm getting unconventional ways of doing things and living life on your terms. You have the Seven of Wands. Sometimes the Seven of Wands can be about putting up a wall of boundaries, right? And that may be what you've learned here, because sometimes the Ten of Wands, it can be going too far, right? You've crossed the line. Someone's crossed the line, and I see you setting healthy boundaries for yourself and non-conforming. And this really is a big thing for you, non-conforming. It doesn't mean that you're going to go out there and break every single rule, but you're going to bend some of them. And I feel like this is going to be beneficial for you. It's going to be beneficial because you are taking a stance. You are someone who definitely deserves this amazing life. And when the Seven of Wands shows up, this is you living life on your own term. It's you having the upper hand and meeting a challenge, right? Tough times don't last, but tough people do. You're going to meet this challenge, and you're coming out of it with stronger boundaries, knowing what is truly healthy for you and what needs to be released. And instead of feeling like you're being attacked or criticized or ridiculed, or perhaps this is how you've been treated, or it could be pain that you're carrying from the past from people who have, attacked you in some way. I feel like you're moving on from that. You're releasing it. And that was a heavy burden for you to carry. And we have here, the dreamer inside of you will teach you everything. And there's a really great song. It just came up. I forget whose reading it was, but thank you to you commenters had reminded me that it's John Lennon's Dreamer. And I'm getting that for you as well. Some say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. You are here to discover your purpose and set yourself free. That's what you're doing. You see that this is when Alice, she's coming face to face, Alice's defense. And you see all of the little, the cards, and it's interesting because it has the aces. There's two aces on this deck, and we actually have the Ace of Clubs, the Ace of Hearts. There's your ace showing up here. Ace of Pentacles, we see that. And it feels like it's been a challenge to have this new beginning, or it's been a challenge to receive the gift or to embrace the gift. There's an acceptance. There's an offering. There's a part of yourself that is understanding that you've gone through this past experience to teach you, to help you grow. You are made to feel what it feels like to soar with the eagles high in the sky. Visualize your dream. Be as clear as you can. Imagine every detail. feeling, etc. Imagine feel it fully in your mind until you can actually feel it as if it were already real now. When you tap into the feeling of your dream, you can experience it as if it were real now. And that's the message. Remember, stay present because the star is the dream. Tapping into the feeling brings you closer and closer to it. And you start off with a lot of feeling, but how interesting that the only feeling we have in your whole reading is the Four of Cups. And that Four of Cups may be a feeling that feels a little unpleasant. Okay, maybe something of the past. But you have this energy within you now to create this turning point and to feel differently because you're meant to open up to this new beginning here. So visualize your dream. You're here to discover your purpose. Set yourself free from whatever that 10 of Wands is and soar with the eagles high in the sky. That is what I have for you, Cancer. I hope that was helpful. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Lots of love.